first night at Character Quest, and we were all on this night orienteering mission. We were all delegated tasks, and my task was to be in charge of the map and find out where our location was. So through a few hiccups, we got to our first checkpoint, and we were there, and we kind of regrouped, restructured, got into a line, and we're like, this is what we should do from here. The first checkpoint after that was pretty easy. We got there with relatively no difficulties, and then the darkness started setting in, and it was getting a lot harder to find out where we were going. And then we go through thorns and creeks and stumps and fallen trees, and it's just getting more and more difficult to keep going. So the guy in front of us had the light, and he was a little skeptical about where we should be going. So I was like, you know what, here, I'll do it. I don't care if I get, my legs cut up or we keep going through. And, we get to our next checkpoint, it's fine. But my team was like, you know what, you really need to focus on what your task is and what you're doing as opposed to what everyone else is, and you got to trust us. So from there, I'm like, you know what, you're right. Started trusting, and we get through another checkpoint. I'm like, this is going pretty good. And then all of a sudden, we're walking for 15 minutes, pitch black, nothing around. We're hearing things, little animals, whatever, in the distance. And one person's just like, you know what, we really need to stop, refocus on where we're at, and see what we're doing. And so we sit there, breathe for a little bit, and all of a sudden, someone's like, wait, what's that over there? And she sees our checkpoint, which was really cool, and we're like, okay, this is good. We got there, we just need to keep calm. So we get through that checkpoint, and our next checkpoint, and then all of a sudden we're out in the middle of a clearing where we have no idea what we're supposed to do there. And then finally, the guy with the light came over to me, and we're like, let's check the map, see what happens from here. And I looked, I'm like, hey, I know exactly where we're at. I know what we should do. Let's go this way. So we talked about it a little bit, kind of wandered in different directions, and I'm like, you guys, if you trust me, we can get there. So they did. We got to exactly where we needed to go, and from there we hit our last final stretch back home. And it was really cool to see that I didn't have to delegate. I didn't have to do all the tasks myself. It was a very good learning experience for me because I got to focus on what I had to do, trust my teammates to make sure we got to where we needed to go, and in the end we grew stronger and closer because of it, because we accomplished this challenge together.